What's good, everybody? I'm your boy Jam.
And I'm your boy T.
And on today's episode of In Jammies with the Jam, the mistress brings in another girl and causes the queen to fall.
And the gay Tupac becomes a politician, stands outside the courtroom, and tells him like NWA, the police.
If you want to be on top, the best way to get there is drug and robbing. Let's get it.
When you're walking down the street and the show gets old, tune into this show. Jamming with Jam. Jamming with Jam. Jamming with Jam. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. So, the mistress brings in another woman, and it caused the queen to fall.
Wendy Williams, the queen of daytime talk. Which is funny to me is because Wendy talks about everybody's business. She started back in the late 90s, early 90s, even the 80s, because she was doing the radio station in Philly. And now here we are. Her life comes full circle.
Now wait.
Full circle.
Wait, even before it comes full circle, that still doesn't justify the fact that the mistress,
Nikki,
that's number one,
Nikki,
to her husband that she was so in love with, that was with her in her fat days, before pre-surgery
and post-surgery.
now has a mistress, and the mistress,
For 10 years. Out of the 17 years that they've been married, he has had this mistress for 10 years. Thank you, Charlemagne the God, for introducing Kevin the Pipe Slayer to Nikki the masseuse. And Miss Wendy Williams for all of those years. You know, first, I want to send my sympathies and my condolences to their marriage because it has ended. It has come to an end. There's no way that Wendy Williams can cover this up.
first off,
But is that the reason why she relapsed? Do you think that's the reason why? No, forget that. I think this is my personal opinion on that. 10 years Wendy Williams has been doing the drug.
called Kevin.
That too. It must not have been that good because she found something else.
Something stronger.
And something stronger.
Something that could actually hit the pipe.
Nights like this, I wish raindrops would fall.
No, but check this out.
You remember that movie?
I remember that movie.
But remember he was a crackhead?
Yeah.
He was trying to get back in the group?
Allegedly.
He was a crackhead. That was the movie. Allegedly. Nights like this.
Sugar Daddy Kane.
But for 10 out of the 17 years, she was on the... this is my theory. She was on that drug. There is no way in the world. Maybe he was never attracted to her.
I wouldn't say that, because most people that do get married, they marry their best friend. Because they had a bond.
Was that their story?
According to her. But again, I wasn't there.
The pipe.
I would love to be the paint on that wall to see when it first started, when it occurred, and the aftermath of it. Now, here's what I don't understand. Together 17 years, little Kevin is how old?
Little Kevin's 18.
So
18, 19 now. So for 17
so that means y'all was married for 17 years. Y'all was together before that, because apparently Kevin is older than the marriage. So that means you do have some time together. So in having some time together,
but she's been in radio all those years.
But the question is, did she marry him because he was the baby daddy?
Or did she marry him because he was her pimp?
I don't think he was her pimp. I don't think so.
or her handler?
I doubt that.
I'm just saying, vulnerability is what they like.
I would say, she was his cash cow, and then when he.
But Kevin had a career before that.
Doing
Kevin
what?
was a football player.
What position?
He played in the NFL. When? Kevin Hunter was an NFL football player. He got hurt. He played for like the Giants or Redskins or Jets. Somebody.
I'm gonna have to Google that.
One of those football teams.
When the Giants wasn't on point?
No, back in the whatever years, he was there. He played football for them.
So, no here, no there. So, she did the Wendy Williams show, starting 10 years, the first year of his infidelity. And it continued throughout the years. And then some more stuff comes out about the side piece in him. And she had become overheated and faints. Then some more stuff come out about him. I think she was in love with this man. And being in love with this man, that it caused her to relapse. It caused her to go back to using. Because I truly believe, according to her, she said she did not need rehab. She didn't need that. It was the hand of God. Hallelujah. It was the hand of God that snatched that demon out of her and said, now, Wendy, you live holy.
I don't think Wendy lived holy. Everybody uses those theories. God touched me.
Can I finish being Reverend Richard Pryor?
Oh, you talking about James L. Williams?
I want to be Reverend James L. Williams. Can I be Reverend James L. Williams for a minute? So, he snatched that addiction out of her. And then when Kevin came along, the devil put it back. But it came back worse. What do you think?
So Kevin's the purpose of her relapse. I don't ever think she relapsed. I always think that she was on the drug. I think she never gave it up. I think that, let me not say she never gave up the drug. I think that literally Wendy Williams found
love in a hopeless place.
She went from crack or cocaine to prescription drugs because now we understand that prescription drugs is the easiest way to get it. I find that prescription drugs is being the easiest way to get it. And it's a lot stronger than doing the crack and the cocaine. Okay? You can still function off of it because she was still coming to the Wendy Williams show, still doing the radio, and people said she was still sniffing the coke. Wendy Williams never gave up the drug. I just think that when it started to get worse with the allegations with Kevin is when she literally started to spiral.
No, I disagree. I say she did give up the drug. But when the situation happened to Kevin, she went to what was familiar.
She was always there.
I can't say that.
For someone, hear me clearly, for someone who gives up a drug for so many years, the moment you go back, there is no functionality. Because your body is so sober. The moment it takes it, you out of here.
Exactly. So don't you think...
So what I'm saying to you, she was still able to function. But hear what I'm telling you. She was still able to function. Meaning you never gave up the drug. If you're still able to walk around here functioning, you never gave that drug up. You just became immune to it. So now you're able to move with it high and everything and able to float.
See, this is where I disagree with you. Because she was able to function. And then you just say, if you get back on it, you will not be able to function. Stuff will start happening.
She was still functioning.
No. Apparently, she was functioning without it. But then all of a sudden, these allegations came out. She fainted on stage. Now she can't work no more for how many weeks?
Let me tell you,
then she reassigned herself into the house.
She started taking the drug more and more and more. Like she was functioning. Not somebody who does marijuana. Somebody who does marijuana, they're functioning on it. Mm-hmm. They're functioning. You can go to work, function, be high as a kite and still function. She started taking other drugs to actually try to suppress the issues. Now her body can't take it. She was always on the drug. Always on the... Wendy never gave up the drug. Wendy wanted people to believe she gave up that drug for the purpose that she could continue to have people feel bad for her so she could feel sympathy. Let me tell you something, what I do know. When you've been delivered by something and you've been healed and all this stuff, when you talk about it, it brings joy, not sadness. Every time Whitney talks about this thing, Whitney always crying. Why? Because she's lying. There's no... I know I'm stand in front of public people and sit up here and be like, you know, when I used to smoke the crack pipe. Cause you lying. You still on it. You are convicted for lying and you're up here crying because you lying. Listen, you'll be like, I used to do the drug and I'm over it. Look at God. You'll be excited to tell your testimony that you're no longer a crackhead. Not here crying, you no longer a crackhead every time. And it's on point and on cue. Every single time. Every time. Just like when she stood up in front of the people and she said, I'm in a sober house. Come on. Really? Who you fooling, Wendy? Who are you fooling? And I think she pulled that stunt. Let me tell you how public relations work. That bitch, that lady that y'all call the queen, she's really a queen of stunts. You know why? Because she knew that Kevin, first off, ain't nowhere in the world they hid no pregnancy from you for 9 months. For 9 months, you didn't know this woman was pregnant and you all up in this man's business? So what you did was you took a hiatus like, I can't no more. I can't do this. Bringing co-hosts, people to take over the show. Then you come back, and now, welcome back everyone. This is the autobiography of my life. I leave here like I told you to go to my Pilates. And then I go to a sober house. Like, come on, Wendy, who you fooling? Who you fooling? You've been on the drug, and you trying to spin these stories so you don't look like the bad person. And like I said, I believe that you and Kevin have a deal where Kevin can do whatever it is he's doing. You on the drug, no one touch each other's business, and you're telling Kevin you look sloppy. You look a mess, Wendy. I mean, she's telling you, Kevin, you look a mess. You look sloppy. Keep your under wraps, because you know what? She can spin these stories with no issue. And everybody, how you off the drug now all of a sudden you in the sober house? Come on. Really? You in the sober house now all of a sudden? Really? Because you've been on the drug. And you want people to, because if it comes out you on the drug, now I'm getting my life together. And these are the reasons why I'm back on the drug. No, Wendy, you've been on that drug. You've been on that drug, and now that stuff is starting to come to light. As they would say, in life, the truth of the matter about all of this is, when you're in that industry, you have to stay 10 steps ahead of the game. 10 steps ahead of the game. And Wendy's not stupid. Wendy's not dumb. Because she's been spinning stories all her life on that radio. When you can talk gossip and be about gossip and tell everybody's business and then tell them y'all should have did this and y'all should have did that, you think Wendy ain't thinking 10 steps ahead about her own career? Come on. Save it, Wendy. You're still Wendy the Crackhead Williams back in Philly. Don't fool nobody. From Jersey. You ain't fooling nobody. You ain't fooling me. I see you, Wendy. I see you.
All right.
As they say on the Wendy Williams show. How you doing, Wendy?
I'm dead.
Wendy's on the drug. She been on the drug. And she knows how to spin this story. She's in a sober house. 9 months she didn't know this lady was pregnant. Save me the drama. Good tea. Wendy, thank you.
But isn't that the purpose of her writing her autobiography book?
Yeah, now it's more and more coming out. More and more coming out. Wendy, you been on the drug. What did she say? She's smart. Who she told, I pay for my stories. I make people pay for my business. Y'all just let y'all business out there for free. People pay to read about my life. Come on, Wendy, you was on the drug. You're still on the drug. And now you're in the sober house. Come on. Miss me with that one.
Wow. In other news, we have
the gay Tupac becomes a politician, standing in front of the courthouse and telling the people, the police, NWA.
Now, this is the first question that I have. How in the world do it goes from a police investigation to an FBI investigation. When R. Kelly's situation has never been an FBI situation.
Oh my.
Was Michael Jackson's situation an FBI investigation?
The FBI came and they raided his house at one point. Or one time during the allegations, the FBI came and raided Neverland.
But certain things are connected to political reasons and backing. So now it makes you question, if the FBI came for Michael Jackson, was he part of political happenings? And if the FBI comes for Jussie Smollett, that just sounds so wrong. Is he part of, can we say, Democratic?
He is.
Influences?
Cory Booker and Kamala Harris.
Does that
it's
mean
all for an agenda.
We become Republicans?
We nothing. Listen.
Make America great again.
The truth of the matter is,
we know like Donald Trump.
That this is all right.
Hashtag the real Donald Trump.
The truth of the matter is, we understand that this is all politics. Jussie Smollett has always been speaking out against the negativity or the rhetoric of Donald Trump. We understand that has been the source. First off, let me go on record by saying I still think you're a liar. You're a liar. Point blank and period, you're a liar to me. Anyway, the truth of the matter behind it all is we understand that it's all for political reasoning. Clearly, you have been always trying to speak up against the elite, the president, what he believes, what he stands for, his campaigning and all of this stuff. You have always been a rebel. And for a better word, he's been a rebel. What they're considering to be normal, and what he's doing, he's been speaking up against. He's been butting heads with what they want to make normal. He's rebellious. He's a rebel.
But there is no such thing as normal.
I understand that you look up the word normal, but we get that. But what I'm saying, in society's world and what they believe is to be normal, what they're trying to make normal.
I mean, what they mean is comfortable and convenient.
Yeah.
Not normal.
Not normal. Comfortable and convenient. Great.
Oh.
On that.
Okay.
So, then think about it. He comes out and he does all of this, and then Kamala Harris and Cory Booker jumps on the agenda.
And then denies the fact.
And then 16 counts. You get indicted for 16 counts of all of these things, and then you don't get charged for not one. Tell me, please.
And the case is closed and sealed.
But Chicago PD had to give up the case to the FBI. Why is that? How did the FBI get involved in the first place? Because let this have been little old me who have did this and they have indicted me with 16 charges. I want the FBI to investigate, just like y'all did Jussie Smollett. But because you're not going to investigate little old me for 16 counts, it lets me know that, first, you drop your regular lawyer to get the same lawyers that represented Donald Trump in the past.
But then you talk against this man, but you want his legal team.
You team up with the legal team that gave him legal counsel. Are you kidding me? Come on now. Come on.
And then you come walking in the courtroom like the Men in Black.
Like you got power. Ain't got no power with your no singing anointed self. Come on now.
Those two don't go together.
He's not anointed, no, he can't sing. He has no anointing. And
you said your no singing anointed self.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, no singing, no anointing having, you know. No singing, no anointing having self. Trying to come in here and act like you somebody for the people. You's a nobody. You's a nobody. You want to be somebody. If you want to be somebody and you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. He ain't got no job. They fired him, man. But Fox put out a report that said that they believed him, but they just didn't want to bring that traffic to the channel, to Fox, to the network.
So if Fox said this,
then
you got Donald Trump lawyers. So does that mean you coming out with your own TV show?
Oh no. Or does it just mean that you went up to the upper room?
Come on in the room. Ooh, come on
in the room. Come on in the room.
Okay, enough of the Negro spirituals. So
in the room.
Now.
In the room.
So what does this mean? Does this mean
he's a sellout? And as Wendy would say, she believes you won't get no good work. That you're just going to have to take jobs because ain't nobody going to trust you. There's no way in the world that anybody believes he got off, and all the people that said they knew he was lying It's going to be like, you know, I was wrong. No, your story don't add up. And like I said, even the mayor of Chicago even spoke out about it. You tried to pull a stunt of a hate crime like Matthew Shepard, and you don't even know what truly happened. You don't understand how detrimental that was to a community of people that you set up here and try to promote hate crime, and no one still sees this as a hate crime. Because if it was a hate crime, it would have been investigated, it would have been tried in court, and whoever had did this to you would have been convicted. But because the two men that you said did it to you that are African Americans from Nigeria has nothing to do with this, they can't even find the proper evidence to even convict this as a hate crime. You should have been convicted, locked up in jail with the key tossed away, and has served 64 years in prison because you're nothing but a felon.
He's guilty of no morals. He's guilty of being a liar. He's guilty of being fake. And in the words of Kaya, next case.
Next caller. There's a hater on the line.
So, this question, if you want to be on top, the new remedy is drugging and robbing.
Come on, Cardi B, pull up. You once was a stripper, now you a thief. Cardi B,
you the queen pin.
You should be the queen that's in the pin. The queen in the pin. Shout out to Queen Pin. I see you, boo.
So, now, all this Me Too movement, everybody talking about how they've been affected, they've been drugged, they haven't been physically robbed of materialistic possessions, but they have been robbed of their personal possessions. So it was
their dignity, their pride, their character, their
innocence, and touch their body and all this.
They've been violated of their goodies, their royalties.
So there's levels to robbery and drugging. When I thought wrong was just wrong.
R. Kelly ain't robbed nobody. He ain't drugged nobody. Ain't none of them girls come out and claim that R. Kelly drugged them. But he's being counted for 10 accounts of child sexual abuse. And there's only 3 of them that came out. But then, he's being also charged for rape and holding women against their will.
Establishing cults and all this other stuff. But
is it because he's a male?
Yeah.
Is it because he's a male?
No, but wait. Bill Cosby.
Are we being...
No, but Bill Cosby...
Same thing. They raped them and
He drugged
them and raped them.
And raped them and robbed them of their sexualness.
Their royalties.
So, what makes Cardi B different? Because
she ain't got Bill Cosby's status? Or the fact that she's a female and women for so long have been getting raped. So now they're turning the tables and now they're doing it, but it's okay. I think all men should go around putting on wigs now and makeup and going around raping people.
They used to do it back in the day. Let's see if
that works. Because I don't agree with that. Cardi B, you need to be held accountable. I don't care if it's 3 years ago, if it was 3 hours or 3 minutes ago. You did it. And you cannot apologize.
First of all, they held Charlemagne the God accountable for what he did in his past. They held Kevin Hart accountable for what he did
in his past. What he said. Forget, because he didn't do anything. He said something.
In his past. They held Bill Cosby
accountable for what he did. He did many years ago.
When the book should have been closed. Hold on. And paid the person off. Because they settled. And she still came back. To get him in trouble. So, how in the world?
Quickly, sidebar. Do you know that the 2 brothers, Team Abel and his brother from Nigeria, will not speak out? The lawyer quit on their behalf because they would not speak out about what happened to let people know that Jussie Smollett staged this act.
Of course, because ICE might be involved.
But think about it. He paid them. They closed the case. I know they threatened them boys and told them they're going to send them back to Nigeria if they open up their mouth. I know it. But go ahead. So Cardi B, Me Too, staged. Because this is deliberate. You did it multiple times. I mean, you thought this through. It was a deliberate act, a willingly act. You thought this through before you did it.
So, Because she did.
You should be convicted.
So she did it to get her music career off the
ground. $50,000 to have some of the most best producers to promote this album because no one in the industry, everybody in the industry passed her up. So since I want to be a singer, y'all, should I go around raping people and stealing their money too? Just to get the best producers? Should I?
Listen.
Get all the vocal training I need from the best vocal trainers. Hey, Jan, I see you.
So all you got to do is put a wig on.
Look like Wendy Williams.
And just go, you'll be all right.
That's what it looks like. And I could be like Cardi B too. Money, 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 money.
See, this is so unfair. But sidebar, there's an infamous man on social media that always dog men.
It's my Jackson.
Yeah.
The infamous Derek Jackson.
Yes. Dogs men, but justified what Cardi B did.
Oh, you talking about when he did the interview with Charlamagne the God, and he held
and
Charlamagne
the
God
and tagged Charlamagne
and held him accountable for what he did. And in the same sense, Cardi B, you don't hold accountable. You say that it's her past 3 years ago, and that haters are hating on her. Why? Because you feel like people are hating on you because you stole ideas too? She didn't steal nobody's ideas.
But wait a minute. But isn't it when you speak out against other people or you try to take a stance for one side that's always going to down somebody else? Don't that sound like the Steve Harvey story? You will never win playing dirty.
In the words of Nene Leakes. Bloop, 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 bloop.
You can never throw stones and hide your hand.
In the words of Jesus Christ. Amen.
So, let me tell you something. All these individuals, we don't hate these individuals. We don't despise these individuals. We don't consider them to be less humane. But the fact of the matter is this. They're all hypocrites.
Hypocrisy. All it does is hurt people. If we're going to play sides, how about the world just live right is right, wrong is wrong? Let's do that. Because if they can say there is no greater sin than the other. One lady tried to say there are levels to sin. No, there is no level to anything. Wrong is wrong. I don't care. Me and him, let's just say, me and him go to rob somebody. I'll pull the gun out to rob somebody, but he pulls the trigger. That's greater than what I did?
Nope, we both going down.
Because the fact of it all is, we robbed somebody. I don't have to pull the trigger to hurt somebody. You can hurt somebody's pride by just pulling a gun out on them. You can hurt someone by just pulling the gun out and making them feel less than. You can bring back memories of things that have happened to him as a child. That is the same thing as if I pull the gun out. Only difference is he pulled the trigger and don't give the person the opportunity to think about and have feeling behind what has happened to them. It's wrong. Wrong is wrong. Two wrongs don't make it right. Let's remember that. Wrong is wrong. And right is right. And we learn how to play the sides. That's why I don't play the middle part. People always it's either, I know how to meet people in the middle. I'm in the middle. No, either it is or it's not. Wrong is wrong. Right is right. And how about if we start holding each other accountable to the things that are right? The world would be a little bit better, a better place to live in. Without so many people having so many opinions. Let's just be for what is right. If you're going to be for what is right, be for what is right. And if you're going to be for what is wrong, be for what is wrong. You can't play the middle. Yeah. You can't be lukewarm here. Either hot or cold. You choose which one you want to do and which one you want to be.
Let's go through and tell the truth about each and every one of these. One, infidelity and marriage. You made a commitment that you will love, honor, cherish the person that you're going to be with for the rest of your life until death do you part. There's nobody going to come into the midst and nobody's going to separate.
But what if this is a deal that they made? You have to remember that too. We don't know what the back deals look like. Because if this is a deal that they made and they both agreed to an agreement, which is a covenant, which is an agreement, a vow, you stick to it.
So even if this is a deal that you make, there's no reason you're supposed to be breaking the deal that you make. Where's the honesty in the deal that you make? Why can't you be faithful to your side of the covenant?
Can't argue on that one.
There you go. Secondly, you lie, you cover up, you bash, you cause false hope, pride comes into the midst.
You talking about the gay Tupac?
Yes. So we got like all the 7 deadly sins coming up.
Fame will lead people to do things that they never thought they would do when they was not famous.
Then the next one, you do wrong, do harm to get to the top. Don't you understand the way you start?
It's the way you gonna finish. They say it's easier to get there, but it's harder to stay. And she may have found it easier to rape and drug these people and rob them. But now you have to stay there. So what are you doing behind closed doors to stay where you are?
And not just that, but don't you know what you did to get here is coming back to get you.
What you put out, you get back. Karma is a...
Then let's go to the other one. The con.
Derek the Con Jackson.
So you con others. Don't you think there's going to be hell to pay?
Mm-hmm. He has to understand, yeah, you have this 1.1 million following or plus more in Instagram, but that's going to fade away when folks start to really see the real you. People are starting to understand you're not who you say you are. You're not. And I tell you, my brother, right now in your stage of where you are, you better be more conscious now than you've ever.
Now,
because the internet holds everything.
Nothing is ever deleted.
So they're pulling receipts on you now. You just wait till it catches up, because it is slowly but surely like a avalanche. It starts out small and it starts to go slow, and the more that it goes downhill, the bigger it gets. And when it decides that it's gonna hit where it's supposed to hit, baby, it does a damage like never before. You better have a great damage control team, because from what we see, is you're doing all of the talking, and you don't have a publicist, and you're actually horrible at what you do. You're horrible at it.
Now, here's a challenge. This challenge goes out to all our Jam Squad followers, even those of you that just watching it, just scroll past it, check us out. Here's the challenge. If you have matured in life and your thought pattern has evolved and your behavior have evolved, re-examine your life and see where you made mistakes at and rectify it. All because if you became mature now and somebody pulled your past, what can you say then?
This is just what I believe. Admit to it. Because if it isn't really who you are, if it isn't where you are, you don't have to defend it. Why defend something that's not you anymore? No need to defend your past, because it is passed on. Excuse me. The only reason why you're defending it is because it's still in you.
It's still living. You haven't killed it.
So you're trying to keep it under wraps. Reevaluate yourself, as Jeb said. And if it's there, fix it. And if you need to apologize to those that you've hurt, do so. Because apology is better than not apologizing. It could be 10 years from now. But that person that you hurt will be able to find healing and be able to move on with their life because of something you've done. You're being held accountable for your actions.
Because mind you, an apology is all what somebody is waiting for. They're acting out because you haven't given them an apology. The moment you give that apology, reality will kick in. And now they're stuck with, what do I do now? Because anger drove me. Mm-hmm. But now you apologize. So where do we go from here?
When you're walking down the street and the show gets old, tune into this show, jamming with Jam.